Drinking the Poison and Waiting on Your Neighbor to Die by Dominique Wilkins. Chapter 1. Savannah James and her brother had everything that their mother could afford to give them. They were poor, but felt rich since their mother's love for them showed through and through. They were a close-knit family that could get through anything because of their strong bond. Everything in Savannah's 16-year-old world was normal and fine until Kalina Jones moved in next door. Things changed almost immediately. It was 7 o'clock on Saturday morning when Savannah awoke to the banging of doors and loud talking. She hadn't planned on opening her eyes because there was no school, and everyone knew that she had never been an early bird. So she lay there with her eyes closed, trying to will the voices that wafted through her open window to go somewhere else and wake someone else up. She willed and wished and grumbled for their relocation for another 15 minutes before she realized that it was too late. They were not going anywhere, and she was not going back to sleep. She growled under her breath as she wiped and focused her eyes to see who deserved the blame and why. She sat up in her bed and reached for the stick to twist the blinds open slowly so that she would be able to peer out without them being able to look back and spot her doing so. She woke up completely when her eyes fell on a large Mayflower moving truck. Immediately, her inner calculator started its tally. Her interest had been quickly piqued, and she was glad that she was there for the show. She would watch the contents unload to find out what type of people could afford to pay an expensive moving company to deliver them to a low-income housing complex. Hers and the other residents that lived in the complex were normally single families that could only afford to live there in the view of the fact that the rent was based off of their income. Some people who had no income were enjoying the same luxuries as the Crescent family across the way that worked and paid $675 to rent their 3-bedroom apartment. They were unable to pay the market rent with their outgoing expenses, and whenever a family got a break, they would quickly move out to a place that was not government funded. Living in subsidized housing had its ups and downs. Savannah's mother often praised God for the blessing he gave them of having a roof over their head that they could always afford. But no sooner would she send the praises up than the management office would be shoving a notice in their screen door announcing either a random inspection, an increase in rent due to an alert they received that more hours were worked than last month, or worse, an eviction notice left in the screen door for any passerby or visitor to see instead of respectfully sliding it under the door. Her mother hated the way they treated them. She always said that she understood that they were poor, but why did they have to be treated without respect? Whether they announced the last-minute random inspections, they were sure to include in the notice that they would enter the apartment whether you were there or not, and they never gave a window or an option to choose what time was best for you. They just did whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. Her mother would always complain. Savannah watched the men as they unloaded at least 3 large flat-screen TVs, full bedroom sets with matching headboards and lamps, a sectional couch with dual recliners, and even patio furniture. She couldn't see what was in the boxes, of course, or whose the things belonged to, but she knew that whoever they were, she hated them already. She was just about to close the blinds up and fume to herself about the new invaders when she spotted a family pulling up in a late-modeled SUV with a Cadillac emblem on the grill and honking to alert the movers' attention. That was it. She was awake and heated. These people obviously made a wrong turn, and she decided that she would do them a favor and do her part to make them realize the error in their plans and make them miserable enough to leave, one family member at a time.